Welcome to the third episode of Sports Pantomaths. I'm here with no other than Tim Collins and Dakota. We're back on YouTube, another good little podcast for you to listen to. If you're watching live on YouTube, follow us, give us a like and a subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. If you're just now listening, we're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and we're also on Spotify on Sports Pantomaths. So give us a listen. We really appreciate it. And we also just appreciate feedback. Tell us if you're enjoying it, what we can improve on, all that good stuff. Without further ado, I got some GOAT talk for tonight. All about Larry Bird,
So really,
LeBron.
who the GOAT of the NBA
could it be Magic? Could it be LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Olajuwon? Who do you got?
All right, so I just want to start off real quick. Right?
Okay.
So the consensus, number one, is Michael Jordan. And some people believe LeBron James, right?
Okay.
So people that have watched both generally say Michael Jordan. And so since I didn't watch Michael Jordan, I just kind of say Michael Jordan. But you have a different argument, so we'll kind of...
I do. So what the GOAT truly is, it's not about the longevity of your career. It's about the accomplishments and the level you play at while you're in the league.
Absolutely.
It's not about who the best athlete on the floor, so physically gifted. It is truly the guy who makes the people around him better, and he is the best player on the court at all times. Larry Bird is the true GOAT. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give you why. First of all, he can play in any generation. He's a 6'9" forward who can shoot the ball. He's got elite ball handling, elite passing, elite shooting. He's a game changer. He plays defense. Also, he's clutch. You want the ball in his hands when the game is on the line. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you my little on why he's the GOAT. It's going to be a minute for everyone listening. I'm about to blow your mind.
He's going to try to convince us that Larry Bird is the GOAT. Some people might not even put him in the top 5. He's saying number one.
Number one right here. So, first of all, you got to remember his career ended short. He had back injuries. If you watch the last couple seasons, he had to lay on his stomach while he was on the bench. So no excuses for, any of that stuff. But his career was shortened for sure. So he starts at Indiana State. Have you heard anything about Indiana State since Larry Bird?
No.
Did anyone hear anything about Indiana State before Larry Bird? No. The only reason why we even hear anything, you hear Indiana State and you think Larry Bird. Okay. So next.
Never hear anything about Indiana State though.
I don't know. For some reason, I see their games pop up at the bottom of the ESPN thing.
I think that's because they're Division I.
But he takes that team to the NCAA championship to play against Magic and Michigan State. That Indiana State team, who no one hears of, and loses the game. However, I compare it almost to LeBron taking those Cavs with the second best players in Gauskas to the finals.
Starts a rivalry too.
Kicks off the rivalry. So in his first year, he's the one who wins Rookie of the Year, not Magic Johnson.
True.
He attributes to the Celtics winning 32 more games than they did the season before, which was for a while a record. I think LeBron may have broken that record. However, he contributed to one of the largest turnarounds in NBA history. And while doing it, he led his team in points, rebounds, and steals, shot 47% from the floor and 40% from three. Took his team all the way to the conference finals and lost to Julius Erving and the Sixers. Next time he made it to the playoffs, he ended up winning the finals and overcame a 3-1 deficit. He is one of the players to win 3 regular season MVPs in a row, averaging over those 3 seasons 26 points, 10 rebounds a game, 7 assists per game, and only missing 3 regular season games throughout those 3 years. Now, you guys want to hear about his iconic moments? So, because every GOAT has the iconic moments. If you want to argue Jordan with his shot in the finals, Game 5 of '87 conference finals against the bad boy Pistons. The game's pretty much over. The Pistons up by 1 in the 4th. They have to just pretty much inbound the ball, and they win the game. Go to inbound the ball. Larry Bird comes flying out of nowhere, gets the steal, throws it back inbounds to his teammate up under the goal, layup, ball game. He finishes the game with 36 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. Go watch the play. Just go type it in. Go type it in and watch it, and you'll be like, okay, that's a dude. Another iconic moment, 24th quarter points against, my Hawk fans, Dominique Wilkins. And, what he was doing on Dominique Wilkins and them? Calling his shots in Game 7 of the playoffs. Also, he dropped 60 on the Hawks and was so good that he had the Hawks players high-fiving each other on the bench because he was hitting so many shots. And the fans were going crazy for him. He called his own game winner against the Sonics. And this is a quote that I found. The Sonics defender said, "Larry Bird told me, I'm going to shoot it in your face." After hitting the shot in the defender's face, Larry Bird told the defender, "Damn it, I didn't mean to leave that much time on the clock." And his first three-point contest, he says, "I'm just looking for who's going to finish second." He won that three-point contest, and he won the other one he participated in. Last game of a road trip against Portland. I'm going to play left-handed this game. Plays the whole game left-handed and drops 27 points. You tell me against a Portland Clyde Drexler team. Hit a game-winning shot. His coach called timeout before. He goes into the huddle and goes, "I'm going to go to the same spot. You guys are going to pass me the ball. I'm going to kick it in. I'm going to make the shot." You know what he does? He just makes the shot and buzzer beater. Against returning from injury against the Pacers in the playoffs, 32-9-7, Game 5, take a 3-2 lead. They win the series. He almost had a quadruple-double in 3 quarters. 30 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 9 steals in 3 quarters. Countless finals games against Magic. Never had a bad big moment. He never beat himself. Only time he would get beat is if he truly played a better team. And that's honestly because there's a whole lot of good teams in that era. In 87, he's the first player ever to reach the 50-40-90 club, which is shooting 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. Something Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron have never done. And then he did it again the next season. Almost has as many career rebounds as Shaq. He's a member of the true Dream Team of 92. He has 3 championships and is finals MVP of 2 of those. He's a few rebounds and assists short of being the first player to average a triple-double in the finals in the 86 finals. And look at the teams he played and beat while doing it. He was able to beat Magic, Kareem, Olajuwon in the playoffs with a triple-double. Julius Erving, Patrick Ewing, the bad boy Pistons. Michael Jordan Bulls never even beat Bird in a single playoff game. Now, every time they met in the playoffs, Bird swept him. He never beat him in a playoff game, let alone a series. And he beat the Reggie Miller Pacers. Also, for people who just like to enjoy watching someone just get after it on the basketball court, watch the effort he plays with. It's Russell Westbrook like times 10. You see a guy diving, sliding, fighting on the floor, a guy who wants it more than everybody else. Watch him get rebounds. He's not the biggest guy out there, and he's not the most athletic, but he wants it the most. You can see videos of him playing hurt, black eyes, blood on the jersey. He's a true competitor. A lot of our generation knows White Chocolate, Jason Williams, and we think, man, that dude was just unbelievable with the ball. Bird's better than him with his type of passes. Go watch a video. Type it in. He broke people's ankles, and he also, with dribble moves, step backs, he could turn heads with passes. Ends his career with 24.3 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6.3 assists. The true GOAT. He changed his team, and him and Magic shaped the face of the league to what it is today. And he's the one you want to start your team with if you had to choose out of everybody.
All right, so listen, out of everything you just said, I think, great job on your research, first of all.
Appreciate
I really admire it. I think what you did prove to me, all right, I'll admit it, is that he had the Mamba mentality before Kobe.
Oh, absolutely.
Arrived, right? I don't think you convinced me that he's the greatest basketball player of all time. And I think, also from people, what I've heard is in that era, people thought Magic was the better of the two, right? Both players had the privilege of playing with absolutely stacked teams. Magic with the Showtime Lakers, and then Larry Bird played with multiple Hall of Famers, not just superstars, but Hall of Famers. So I think with your championship thing, I think that's kind of more of a team accolade.
I agree.
But stats wise, definitely he's a top player. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. I think everyone thinks of Larry Bird being a top 10 guy, top 5. I don't know if anyone says number 1, but I respect the argument. I like the passion for it. I can tell he's your favorite player.
Absolute favorite player, but also
favorite player.
I got it. Bird, LeBron, MJ.
You got MJ third.
Yes.
MJ, all that 6-0 NBA championships. Can't beat him.
Couldn't beat
Clutch.
Bird. Couldn't beat Bird. It wasn't clutch against Bird. You know, there's a great video of Bird posting up Scottie Pippen, and then, or maybe it's Jordan. He posted up one of them, and the other one comes to run and help. You know what he does? Turn around, fade away in the face.
Yeah, it's just, it's kind of a weird argument to have. Like, it's hard to compare players from a generation I didn't even watch, right? I didn't watch Larry Bird. I didn't watch Michael Jordan. And, you see kind of the analysts always say, guys that have been around to watch Michael, Bird, LeBron, they always say it's Michael, then LeBron. So
I can see the argument. However, I got to disagree.
I mean, but the thing is, like,
I go back and watch the interviews, stuff like this, that when people go back and talk about Larry Bird, and they're like, man, that's the dude I didn't want to mess with. He could just beat you anyway, all types of ways.
Current players say that about LeBron, right? So you can cherry pick quotes and cherry pick highlights, but I just think you just got to go off of what people have seen. I think actually got the privilege of watching both players.
Or you can just go do just go back and watch highlights. Go back and watch films. Everybody, for real. Go back and watch films of the older players who people talk about, and you can see who the game changers are and who are like, I view MJ and Kobe.
Well, instead of highlights, how about this? Go watch a whole game of
dude, it's amazing.
Right? Because here's the thing, I can make a highlight of when I played football, and I could pick certain blocks and convince you I was a D1 athlete.
I know.
I wasn't a D1 athlete.
I don't know if we could
go.
Okay, we'll see. I'll show you my highlights.
Go watch a full Larry Bird game, and at every single point you're going to be like, that's the best dude on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, I think
against Magic, Kareem, all of them. Go watch it.
That's a different argument.
Go watch. You can go on YouTube and watch them for free if you want to. Go watch them. You can watch all those old school games, stuff like that. You can find them.
Yeah.
It's a good watch, and I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, all right, Bird is the best player on the floor. He can just do it all, and he wants it the most. I'm telling you, just a true.
Listen, you convinced me. He had the mentality that I kind of like. Get after it, compete every play. I just don't.
Hey,
you didn't convince me the other thing, but you did convince me of something. So that's a big.
Hey, there we go.
There's a big
moral victory.
You wanted to convince me of something. You convinced me of something.
There we go. You got anything about your GOAT besides MJ?
MJ all that.
He got beat by Shaq and Penny Hardaway at one point as well when he came back from baseball. But no one talks about that too much. All right, next we got one more GOAT talk before we kind of get rolling on the podcast some more. But GOAT of quarterbacks, which is often argued. It's very fun to argue, and a lot of people can just kind of, there's a lot of arguments you can make for lots of people. The best person I've seen play the quarterback position for a long time was Aaron Rodgers, skill-wise. I didn't see a quarterback like him until Pat Mahomes entered the league, which I think will end up being up there with the GOATs. However, I'm going to let you guys kind of get rolling on your GOAT, and then I'll get to mine.
The only quarterback I look at quarterbacks, and I look at championships. And I look at Tom Brady with 6 championships, and then I go a little bit farther back, and I look at Terry Bradshaw has 4. He's also undefeated.
Terry Bradshaw?
You mean Joe Montana?
Terry Bradshaw.
He's talking about Terry Bradshaw, quarterback for the
Yeah.
Steelers. He's 4-0.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing with Terry Bradshaw argument is even Terry Bradshaw admits that he's a mediocre quarterback. That he just played for a great team.
Still, look at championships.
So Joe Flacco is a better quarterback than Dan Marino.
I don't care about Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
He's got a championship.
Trent Dilfer for the Ravens led the Ravens to a Super Bowl. You're saying that Trent Dilfer
championships.
So Trent Dilfer
championships.
All right, listen. So Trent Dilfer is better than Dan Marino. I want to hear your answer.
If I look at championships, I'm gonna say yes.
So Trent, according to Tim, guys, I just want to let you know, Trent Dilfer is better.
I'm gonna put up a poll.
I think Trent Dilfer is better than Patrick Mahomes.
I'm gonna put up a poll. Is Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco better than Pat Mahomes
and Dan
Marino quarterback position?
All right, so just
in the playoffs.
Before I started looking into this, Tom Brady, right? I put Tom Brady number 1, just how long he has been great. Right? It's just amazing. I've always thought that Aaron Rodgers is probably the most skilled quarterback I've ever watched, most talented. Early in his career, I could not stand watching the guy.
Really?
He's too good. I don't like my guys to be too good. I get jealous very easy. All right, he's putting up Madden numbers. And then my favorite quarterback, just kind of put it out there, is Peyton Manning. I love Peyton Manning. But the way I started doing this is instead of going by career stats, right? Because if you just look at career stats, we're talking about Vinny Testaverde being one of the top quarterbacks. So what I did was I went in and added up all the stats from each season and divided by the number of years they played. And I took out rookie years or years they didn't start, or if they played less than 10 games. I did not include that season. So when I did that, Tom Brady has 3,852 yards per season, 28 touchdowns per season, 63% completion rating, and 9.8 interceptions with a 97 passer rating. Okay? I have 4 quarterbacks. I should have said that. I have Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Peyton Manning. So then with Drew Brees, so this is excluding his first year, his rookie year, he has 4,274 yards per season, 30 touchdowns per season, 67% completion rating per season. My bad. 13 interceptions per season and a 98.3 passer rating. Aaron Rodgers, 4,186 yards per season, 32 touchdowns per season, 64% completion rating per season, 7 interceptions, and a 102.9 passer rating. Peyton Manning, 4,231 yards per season, 31 touchdowns per season, 65.3 completion rating per season, 14 interceptions per season, and 96.5 passer rating per season. Now that's a lot of numbers, so I broke it down even further for you. So with passing yards, okay, the guy that everyone says is the GOAT, Tom Brady, he came in 4th out of the 4 guys I said. And touchdowns per season, touchdowns per season, he came in 4th. And completion percentage, he came in 4th. In interceptions, he came in 3rd, which is good. That means you don't turn over the ball a lot. He only had 9 interceptions. 9.8. One season he only had 2. So that really skewed the numbers. And then a 97% passer rating, which is 3rd out of these 4 guys. Drew Brees, he was 1st in yards, 3rd in touchdowns, 1st in completion rating. So anyway, I kind of averaged out these numbers as well, right? And so 4th place is Tom Brady. With these stats, is Tom Brady. 2nd or 3rd place would be Peyton Manning. 2nd place would be Drew Brees, and number 1 is actually Aaron Rodgers. Now, with Aaron Rodgers' numbers, you kind of have to remember
offense is changing.
Yeah, offensive changing, right? Early in Peyton Manning's career and Tom Brady's career, they weren't throwing the ball nearly as much. And Drew Brees actually played in kind of the same era. I think for both Tom Brady and Drew Brees, they counted 18 seasons. Peyton was 17.
Okay.
So them 3 specifically played in the same era. And so if you want to just go off of them 3, Drew Brees is actually the best quarterback statistic-wise. And the reason I don't like to go by the championship argument is because it's such a team accolade.
I agree.
All right. Tom Brady is not playing defense. Tom Brady can't catch the ball. You know, when we go over the GOAT talk with the NBA, it's totally different. Larry Bird's passing the ball. Larry Bird's shooting the ball. Larry Bird's playing defense. Larry Bird's doing everything. Tom Brady ain't doing anything, guys. He's not playing defense. He has control over one aspect of the game. And so I think he's played on some of the most talented teams and with probably the greatest coach of all time with Bill Belichick.
Yes.
I think he's a beneficiary of that. But I think if you want to just go strictly by the numbers, I mean, you can go with Aaron Rodgers based off of the numbers, but you also got to remember kind of the offensive play. And if you just take away the longevity, quit looking at career stats, look at per season, you have to go Drew Brees, in my opinion. You know, coming into the argument, I was convinced it's Tom Brady. You know, I just remember all the crazy seasons Tom Brady has had. But yeah, according to the numbers, it's Drew Brees. I don't know if you're a big numbers guy.
That's a pretty good.
Obviously,
stuff right
I
there.
am.
That's pretty good stuff. I'm impressed. I'm surprised no one brought up Joe Montana.
Well, see, I should kind of defend myself on that. I didn't want to include quarterbacks that I didn't watch.
Okay, so
and also he's from a different era, so that kind of like mess up. If I add old quarterbacks, that kind of changes how I would average that, because obviously I don't know where Joe Montana would fall in these ratings, because Joe Montana is an elite arm, one of the greatest, but since the offenses were so different, he might end up fifth, and I don't think that would do Joe Montana justice.
Yes. So we may end up having a guest caller tonight come in and kind of talk about his little GOAT theories. I think I know I've talked to him personally. I think he's more of a Joe Montana guy, but I'm happy we're going to be able to get his experience in, mainly because he's seen all these guys play, and that's what I enjoy about it.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to add was just guys I've seen play. And also, I didn't include Patrick Mahomes. That's only too early. Yeah, that's way too early.
So I'm gonna get to my GOAT real quick, which is actually Drew Brees.
Yeah.
All leading up to this last video that came out from the Patriots organization, I was, Tom Brady's the GOAT. He's won enough for me. I can't deny anymore the time he's done it over at such a high level for so long. But now I don't know what's attributed to the cheating scandal and what all goes on behind closed doors and stuff like that. And I'm not going to get too much into it. But I just can't appreciate it as much as I used to anymore. It's kind of Houston Astros-ish to me. So I think Drew Brees is the GOAT because he leads the NFL in career passing yards, completion percentage, and touchdowns. And see, Dan Marino was very talented and put up stats, but he never won the Super Bowl. But however, Drew Brees did win the Super Bowl, and I think that's a big thing on his legacy, especially winning the Super Bowl in New Orleans. And he kind of pulled them up out of an abyss after Hurricane Katrina, and just like what he means to an NFL organization. I think he's just as important as like Brady is to the Patriots, Montana was to the 49ers. I honestly thought Manning was to the Colts. I think he needs to be put in that conversation more often. He's my GOAT, and I think especially through all his adversities, had to come through the shoulder injuries and stuff like that. I just think he needs to be appreciated more, puts up the stats, wins the Super Bowls, does all the good stuff. He's a good leader. He's my GOAT, no doubt. Him and Sean Payton just make a good duo.
Yeah, and with Tom Brady, there's no denying he wins a lot, right? I kind of contribute that to having a great defense and a great coach for a long time. But I don't want to sound like I'm taking away from him. These numbers are still ridiculous. You're talking about 3,800 yards per season.
Over 18 seasons.
Over 18 seasons or something like that. So, 28 touchdowns, a 63% completion rate. So these are still outstanding numbers. I'm just saying, as far as GOAT, I got Drew Brees.
All right, off the top of your head, real quick, before I get to the next topic, I just got to update about. I enjoy watching the Packers. Vikings come on at 8:30. Any live, little predictions you got on the game? Who you got? I think it's Packers at Vikings, so there's definitely going to be a skull chance.
I got the Vikings. Vikings because they're playing for.
Dalvin Cook's out.
Dalvin Cook's out. I still got the Vikings.
Okay.
I got the Packers. Kirk Cousins can't play in
prime time. I got Packers.
He's turned it around the second half of the season, though.
It doesn't really
prime
matter.
time.
We'll see.
It'll probably be low scoring though, because Aaron Rodgers is slumping.
Yeah, he hasn't been too hot this year.
Give it to Aaron Jones.
Yeah, give it to the better Aaron of the year. So now, since the new year's coming upon us, everyone's been debating their athlete of this decade that we just went through. I want to get to our predictions of who we think the athlete of next decade is going to be. If you want to start it, Tim or Dakota, whoever.
I'm going to go with Kawhi Leonard. I think he will still be dominant as he has been. If the injuries don't hold him back or anything, I think he'll still be as dominant as he's been.
What holds him back more, injuries or load management?
This season it's been load management.
Because that is.
This season they haven't played him as much.
That's been very
because they probably just don't want to get him injured. They didn't really do that with Toronto.
And see, that's why I can't give a lot of guys the GOAT or great player argument anymore. When you're sitting out games and stuff like that for load management.
I don't like that mentality.
I don't you should want to go out and get after it every night. That's what you get paid to do. I think if you get load management or something like that.
And I think it's also an NBA problem in general. You're talking about playing 82 games in a season. It's impossible. It'll never happen. I'd like to see that number decrease. I think in the lockout season, I can't remember what year it was.
It wasn't too long ago. I remember it.
But that regular season games were fun to watch, right? Because there was less games, so they had more to play for.
Mm-hmm.
They had to win more games. I thought it was more entertaining, personally.
quick thing for you. Have you heard about the tournament they're talking about?
I've heard about it.
I really liked
briefly
it.
about
I really liked it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think they're stealing it from like the soccer format.
Yeah,
or something like
the team that wins, each player on the team gets $1 million. So
Yeah.
I think that gives them incentive to go play, especially those guys who, are underpaid and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So like for
out
people
there.
that kind of leave the tournament early, I think they play like 74 or 75 games. But teams that win the tournament, I think they're saying would play like 83.
But I say cut the season down to really like 64 games. Because honestly,
It'll never happen. Like, it's fun to talk about. It'll never happen.
No.
You know, owners will not take money out of their pocket.
No.
It won't happen.
Who you got as athletes of the decade?
All right, so athlete of the coming decade, and I couldn't choose current players. You don't know how they're going to perform in the pros, so that's why I kind of went away from college players. I went with Lamar Jackson because he's one of the hottest athletes right now. Everybody's talking about him. I know Tim thinks he's overrated. I got Lamar Jackson. He's young. He's still young. He'll be playing this whole decade. And also have Luka in the NBA.
Okay.
I think Luka's probably going to. Luka's fun to watch, guys. Luka's legit.
So I really like the Lamar Jackson pick. I hope he stays healthy over those.
Yeah, that's
decade.
another thing.
However, I think we do need to slow down the hype for him a little bit. He's a great, like I said, he's a generational talent and everything. Yeah. However, this is his second year. Like we're saying, slow down on Patrick Mahomes a little bit. Also slow down on Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
So I got to go with someone young.
I actually got Ronald Acuna, baseball player for the Braves. I think he's the new coming of Mike Trout almost. He's got the speed, the power. He can do it all, hit it all sides of the field. He can go Oppo Taco. He can yank one down third baseline. And then he can play left, right, center. He can do it all. Great defender, great arm. He's almost joined the 40-40 club this year. 40 home runs, 40 steals. That hasn't been done in a while. He's just very fun to watch. I really honestly think I hope the Braves get a new manager, someone who can relate to the young guys better than Brian Snitker. But also, my other little athlete of the decade was also Luka Doncic. I'm not going to compare him to Larry Bird because I don't know if he has that mentality yet. I haven't seen it in the postseason. However, I did compare him to LeBron James. I think he has a similar game to LeBron. He's not the athlete that he is. However, he can shoot it, and he can shoot it better than LeBron. He makes everyone around him better. He can pass the ball. He moves the ball. You can see how the Mavericks offense has changed since he's come in there. Everyone's moving the ball. He's out right now, but go watch him play. The ball's still moving around everywhere because that's just the type of player he is. I see he got them into that mindset as well. So honestly, I have the Mavs making the playoffs this season in a loaded Western Conference and winning a playoff series.
Yep.
So here first, that's the first hot take of the night.
Gotcha.
Luka Doncic wins a playoff series this season.
Interesting.
Talking about NBA, we got who is the king of the NBA right now?
Kawhi Leonard.
He don't even play. He don't play, and that's my thing.
He's the king.
And that's my thing.
He won over the Raptors. He's the king of Canada. It doesn't matter if he's not even playing for him anymore. He's the king.
He don't.
Are you a Clippers fan? Or are you just Kawhi fan?
I'm
just
like
Kawhi fan.
He doesn't play enough, and that he can't be king because he's sitting out. He's sitting on the sidelines watching. Patrick Beverly doing all his dirty work.
He's probably still going to win the NBA championship.
He don't even win LA.
Okay.
All right, I have Giannis Antetokounmpo, or I'm just gonna say Greek because I'm not sure I'm saying his name right. I think if you're talking about the best players in the NBA right now, not talking about who was better early in their career. Mm-hmm. I'm saying right now this season, I still think it's Giannis, and also he was the MVP last year.
Quick question.
Gotcha. What's up?
We get into the playoffs, and you got Giannis on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send him to the free throw line.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that.
What if I just put like my third string roster and a couple maybe a third string point guard big man, and like anytime Giannis touches the ball, just go balance, send him to the free throw line, hack a Giannis instead of hack a Shaq.
Yeah.
Because honestly, he's a 60% free throw.
You're right. I think last season was 70. So I know in the playoffs he struggled. So this year it's in the 50s. I think.
I was about to say. So hear me out. This is how I would defend him, and this is why I don't think he's the king of the NBA.
Okay.
I push him towards the three-point line, which he's been a whole lot better recently shooting the three-point shot. I've watched him recently, and it's been impressive. I'm like, man, if this dude can make it consistently from three, it's trouble for a lot of people. However, you force him to shoot the three still and be like, he's just on a little streak right now, And if he keeps making them, then maybe go out there. But as soon as he gets the ball inside the paint or anything like that, I would just hug him and not let him throw the ball up and just send him to the free throw line. Because first of all, if we're doing the little numbers game that everyone likes to do about shooting the 3 ball instead of the 2 ball, well, you know what's even better? Making him shoot 1. Because he's a almost 50% free throw shooter. So now every possession they're getting 1 point because he's at the free throw line.
Well, yeah, and this is kind of the argument that people made about LeBron James earlier in his career too, right? Keep him at the free throw line, let him shoot a 3.
It's not early in his career no more.
Yeah, I know, but my point is we were calling. People were calling. He was the self-proclaimed king early in his career. I just think that right now, if you're saying the king of the NBA, the best player in the NBA, I think it's Giannis. I mean, right now, Giannis is only playing 31 minutes a game. Okay, he has 31 points per game. He's scoring 1 point per minute. 56% field goal rating, which he does. He stays close to the basket. I'll admit it. He kind of plays like a center.
Yeah.
He's a center that's called himself a small forward. But you could also say he's a center with point guard handling. Right? He can handle the ball pretty well. He has 5 assists per game, 12 rebounds, 1 steal and a block, and also he's leading the team with the best record in the NBA right now. And let me tell you something that he doesn't have that Kawhi has and LeBron has. He doesn't have another superstar with him, unless you want to call Chris Middleton a superstar and Eric Bledsoe a superstar.
Does he have a deeper team than LeBron does?
Did Kawhi have one last year with him? Is Kyle Lowry really a superstar?
No, but they had a very deep team.
They had a deep team, and I'm talking about this season, right? We're talking about, and I guess we can't talk about last season, but even last season, who won the MVP? Who between them two, the media and I guess MVP voters picked Giannis. So
Harden should have won that.
And I don't think.
Go ahead.
I don't think Giannis has a deeper team. No, because LeBron James has Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard's playing very well this season.
All right, but who's more efficient in the game at this point in their careers, Dwight Howard or Robin Lopez? They are both the Lopez brothers, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Robin Lopez. I say
Brooke Lopez. Well, both.
And I don't think Robin Lopez is really a high quality player.
That's
Dwight Howard though.
Exactly.
This season, Dwight Howard has been. Yeah.
We're talking about the Lakers. There's been a king, and he's still the king of the NBA. That's my man, Bron. Okay. You know, the second version of Larry Bird, except for without the mentality. He's
the current king, right?
He's the current king.
He's the current king. All right, let's talk about this.
Hold on. Hear me out. He's a man on a mission this year, and you're going to pull up stats.
Yeah.
But there's a thing. You can argue stats. You can argue eye test. And
by my eye test, I think Giannis is a better player right now.
I think LeBron's he has a better basketball IQ. He can get the ball. He passes better than Giannis. He ball handles better than Giannis. There's no one who passes the ball like LeBron in the league. He's a more efficient scorer than Giannis. Well, not more efficient because he's not around the basket, but he's a better scorer than Giannis. The only thing that Giannis has on LeBron is he's a super freak athletically. He's long and tall and strong, so he can just bully people in the paint. And while LeBron can't at this point in his career, he's a little older now, stuff like that. However, he's still the best player on the floor at all times, no matter where he goes.
All right, so I'll just go based off of, I'll ignore the stats I have, and I'll go just based off of what you said. So you said that Giannis might have better numbers than LeBron because he's more physically gifted. Right?
Yes.
So early, or really not even early, right now LeBron is really the most physically gifted player in the league. He's the strongest. He's one of the fastest.
At this point in his career.
I think LeBron.
All right, or how about even in the midpoint of his career, the peak of his career? Even the peak of his career.
Kawhi, AD, LeBron.
All right, we'll get to that.
Oh my God.
So, saying that, Giannis is just better than LeBron because he's physically gifted. LeBron's been more physically gifted than everybody his entire career. Right?
He's smarter than everybody, though, too.
He is smarter. And that's the thing that I think separates LeBron from everything else. I don't think LeBron is the most skilled guy. I think he's physically gifted, and I think he's super intelligent. I think he sees the game a lot better than most people.
That's what makes people go. It's never the most talented because, I mean, honestly, look at
I'm not arguing that Giannis is the most talented. I'm just saying he's the best player right now.
Athletic, but I got to get to this comment that.
Well, one more thing. All right, you said that LeBron is a better passer.
Yes, absolutely.
LeBron has 4 assists per game this season. Giannis has 5.6.
You tell me.
You can go ahead and go.
Okay, no. Who's a better passer, LeBron or Giannis?
Well,
don't
according to the
answer the
stats,
question.
right?
Answer the question.
According to the stats.
No, answer the question.
Yeah, I'm picking the answer. According to the stats, Giannis is a better passer.
Giannis is a better passer than LeBron.
According to the stats, yeah.
Say to the camera, tell him that Giannis. No,
All right, so
not
according to the stats,
opinion,
guys,
opinion.
Opinion-wise, LeBron is probably a better
True best passer because Giannis hasn't even made a finals yet. Don't tell me about anything about Giannis. I don't want to hear nothing about. He hasn't made a finals.
At this point in LeBron James' career, at the same age as Giannis, LeBron has 0 rings.
But he made it to a finals.
So what? He got swept.
Giannis hasn't even. He's won 1 playoff series.
Listen, man. And I kind of in a private message between all of us. Okay, I said Giannis only played in the NBA for 6 years before he played basketball for 6 years before he got to the NBA. And y'all kind of laugh at me for saying this, but the reason I brought that up was because developmental-wise, right? Look, Giannis was playing for a very short period of time before he got to the NBA. So it took him a couple of years to get adjusted, first of all, to the NBA, but he's still learning the game. And so I think LeBron is the more smarter guy. But I think as far as being the better player right now, it's Giannis.
Man, the disrespect.
Stats don't lie, by the way. Stats don't lie.
All right, you want us to go by stats? Because let's look up assists by each season throughout their careers together. We can even look at LeBron at this point, at his rookie year. We can take those.
And I did address that too, by the way.
Because
I did say that Giannis
averages the more assists throughout that little.
Giannis was only playing basketball for 6 years before he got to the NBA.
You know what? Damn it, he's been in the league for 7 years and tired here, and he's a young guy.
But you're talking about breaking it down by season, so I'm just explaining why there's going to be a
7 years in, and you got 1 playoff.
Developmentally wise, LeBron was a superstar as a high schooler. He was a top NBA guy in high school. I'm not arguing that. I think LeBron's always been amazing. I just think
wow, man, I gotta disagree. You said that LeBron's the 3rd best player in LA, and honestly,
I think Kawhi is better than him right now. I think Anthony Davis is.
Anthony Davis hasn't won anything.
What is that?
And you know what? LeBron's older now. Yeah, I partly agree with him. I'm not going to sit there and say LeBron's the 3rd best. But I do think Kawhi is a better player now than LeBron.
I'm not saying career-wise. I'm saying right now. I think Kawhi and AD are better.
Listen, you got to get off the mindset.
No. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to argue with you guys. I'm going to let playoff time roll around.
Okay.
And I'm going to let LeBron, because I'm going to go ahead and give another hot take. I think we see an old school finals, Lakers-Celtics finals.
Are we going to talk about team to beat?
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Those are my 2 teams to beat right there, Lakers-Celtics. But honestly, I mean, I don't think the Bucks are going to make it. Like I said, Giannis is a limited player to me. He can't shoot free throws. The Sixers, Ben Simmons. We had a funny group little text the other night. A buddy said Grant Williams is the GOAT. I laughed and said, hey, he finally passed Ben Simmons in career threes. So when you got Ben Simmons on the floor, he's a liability as well at some point. So I don't think he's going to hold them back. So I really got the Celtics. They got a lot of shooting. I think they're going to make a big splash trade move. Steven Adams to the Celtics, I think, from the OKC Thunder.
Oh, wow.
I think that's going to go down at some point.
Is there rumors about that, or is that just something you think is going to happen?
I think that's going to happen.
You just think it's going to happen? He has a big contract. Can the Celtics afford it?
That's who I think they should go after. They need a big man presence.
So you're just saying that's your Christmas wish list.
That's my hot take. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it is going to happen.
I don't know.
OKC, I think is a 2 or 3 games above 500 right now. So loaded Western Conference. I think they may fall off eventually. I think they're probably playing their best basketball right now. They're going to go, all right, let's just start the rebuild and try to see who we can get rid of.
Yeah. My team to beat, I have the Lakers. First of all, they're 24-6, I think. And just kind of a private conversation I had with me and another friend. I actually thought the Lakers would just struggle to get into the playoffs, period. I wasn't really convinced in some of the accusations they got besides Anthony Davis. But those guys have shown up, and they're playing good.
You know what's crazy, though? Quinn Cook hasn't really played that much.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys that they've signed really haven't performed to the level that they were supposed to.
But the thing is, though, is at least one of them show up, right? LeBron and AD are putting up great stats. And, Pope, he might put up 21 points, or Danny Green. Like someone off the bench is contributing and helping them win. I think they got guys that are that can get hot in a game and score points. And the reason I thought the Lakers would kind of struggle to make the playoffs just because of injuries. I thought Dwight Howard's been struggling with injuries. Anthony Davis has yet to play a full season in his career. So I thought injuries would kind of get to him. And I'm not wishing injuries on him. But if they stay healthy, this is a surprise for me. I know a lot of people thought they'd be a shoo-in in the playoffs, but they also thought that last season. So
Clippers, Kawhi, playoffs, money time.
Yeah.
I really do like the Clippers. I really do. Honestly, though, I do think load management's going to come back and bite them. I think it's a lot tougher to get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on the floor together and to know, of course, Kawhi is the alpha right there, and Paul George has to take, second in command to him. However, they don't get a lot of that interaction with all this load management that's going on and stuff like that. I think they have the deepest team like Lou Williams, Patrick Beverly. Is it Montrezl Harrell?
Yeah.
They got some dudes over there who can play. I like Doc Rivers, former Celtics coach.
You're just taking Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and putting them on a team that was already
good,
fun to watch last season.
Defensive, a defensive just team you don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of roll to. Speaking of defense, I guess we're gonna roll to the NFL. Some good games this past weekend. Sorry about the last podcast. We had predictions. We had recruiting as well. We kind of had technical difficulties and lost all of our footage. So we're going to kind of do a couple repeats of some stuff. But first, I predicted my predictions were wrong. I had the Cowboys beating the Eagles, and I had the Bills beating the Patriots. I was wrong on both. The Cowboys still somehow had a shot to make the playoffs. If Philly loses in New York this weekend, which is honestly pretty likely, and the Cowboys beat the Redskins at home,
good chance of that.
They're still in the playoffs, which it's got to be rough. I think I know they lost 17-9, which is very awful numbers to put up offensively when you have those players. I'm gonna get on a guy in a little bit. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and roll off about what you got on the game for this weekend.
Dallas, something needs to change. I think they need to fire Jason Garrett, obviously. They need to. It's been coming for a while. Dak, I don't know if they should re-sign him, let him go, slap a franchise tag on him, and then decide what to do. But he missed so many throws in that game. Over the head, any left or right, it doesn't matter. He missed so many throws that could have won them the game. And he just missed him.
Yeah, I think the time for Jason Garrett has kind of run out. First of all, I didn't even know this, but this is his last year on his contract.
Yeah.
I think it's the Cowboys are probably going to go out and play this game for him. I think everyone kind of knows. The writing is probably on the wall that that's Jason Garrett's last game as head coach for the Cowboys, unless they make the playoffs. I don't think the Eagles are going to lose to the Giants. I just don't. But as far as Dak Prescott goes, I don't think you get rid of the guy. I know someone's probably going to argue that, but I don't think he's a bottom of the barrel quarterback, and I think that he
middle of the pad.
Huh?
Middle of the pad.
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback. I think he deserves to be paid. Should he be Aaron Rodgers money or Tom Brady money? Probably not. But whenever you have a quarterback that doesn't lose you games and can make big impacts on the game, right? I think you pay them, and I think you build around them. This game, football is not just about the quarterback. And I think as fans and media people, we look at a team and we judge it by the quarterback play. And I think it's a good indicator because they kind of are the guy that has the hands on the ball every play besides the center. But I think Dak Prescott can win a Super Bowl with Dallas. I think they need more pieces around them. I think maybe not more pieces, but a better defense. I think offensively, there's no excuse for what's happened with the Dallas Cowboys offensively. To score 0 touchdowns against Philadelphia Eagles, that's ridiculous. I know Dak Prescott had a hurt shoulder. But
I think him and his agent planted that story.
Well, anyway, he played, so there's no excuse.
Well, here's the problem. If they want to pay him, they're going to have to play $30+ million.
Yeah, and I think that's probably going to happen because they're not re-signing Amari Cooper.
No.
Amari Cooper has played himself out of a contract.
Hold on. First, happy thing for Dallas Cowboy fans. You know that there's a coaching change coming, so you get to celebrate. You know, like, he's gone. However, he's going to your rival, the Giants. Jason Garrett's going to go to the Giants and get their system going the right way. He's not a bad coach. However, Dak's not the guy. He's the you hit it right there, the nail on the head, man. You franchise tag him 1 year, and you get a quarterback and some offensive linemen in this draft. Because you paid your defense. You realized, okay, these are the guys we're going to win with on defense. These are our guys. Dak, you franchise tag him, you give him one more shot. That you get your money, because that's what you're supposed to do for us. And to lead his offense to 9 points against an Eagles defense who hasn't been that great to me all year is awful. Amari Cooper he's gone after this year. I've got no clue how people have been arguing that they need to pay Amari Cooper over Dak. That's ridiculous. He's never on the field in big moments, and he doesn't show up in the big games.
I think that might be a Jason Garrett problem. They rotated Amari Cooper off the field because he ran a go route. I don't know if you've heard that quote by Jason Garrett. Amari Cooper ran a go route, so instead of making a snap decision, Amari Cooper is 4th and 1, we need this 4th down to win the game or potentially win the game. But anyway, they rotate him off. I think that's just terrible coaching.
But there's 3rd down plays where he's not on the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that has to do with coaching.
And also, but Zeke checking himself out of the game at one point in the game, all of this stuff is just mind-blowing to me. I don't know. I wouldn't have paid Zeke in the first place. That was wrong to me. Once you pay those running backs, for some reason they don't run with the same passion as they used to. However, some running backs earn it, and Zeke rightfully earned it. However, I would have moved on and just rolled with Pollard, because he's just been so much of a distraction to the Cowboys to me, and so many off the field issues. Is he worth all this money? And then now he's underperforming all that money. All the guys that they paid are all underperforming. Jalen Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, Zeke Elliott, all these guys underperforming. Now you're going to go pay Dak. What's he probably going to end up doing? Because, hey, he hasn't performed up to what he should be getting. Like, you're arguing he should be paid money. Has he performed to that? These past couple games, all his stats are inflated, because 4th quarter, he's having to go downfield and throw the ball about 20, 30 times in the 4th quarter. So he puts up, through 3 quarters, he's had about $170 yards and a touchdown and a pick. Then in the 4th quarter, they're down 20, so he scores 2 throwing touchdowns and about 2 yards, and he ends up getting 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You're like, dang, he didn't play too bad. He didn't lose him the game, I don't think. But in reality, his stats just got inflated from that 4th quarter.
Yeah, but the thing is so a common argument that has happened on this podcast, right, is this guy should be let go, draft another quarterback. This guy needs to be let go, draft another quarterback. We say that about every argument we've had so far. I just don't think you can approach every single team with get rid of that quarterback.
We're not saying, I think they need
franchise tag him, or if he wants a contract.
But when did you say after the franchise tag?
If he doesn't perform, you got to.
But he's performing right now.
He's performing to win you maybe a division title every 3 or 4 years.
The Cowboys have gone 8-8 for a while.
I don't think it's a Dak Prescott problem. I think it's a Dallas Cowboys problem.
Good season.
But see, he's not. The money that he's requesting is not worth. Like, it's just, he's not worth that kind of money. He's wanting 30-something million. And what's even worse is how he somehow, him and his agent are going to plant this injury story right before this biggest game of his career. I've never heard anything about Dak Prescott being injured. You're going to sit here and tell me he's never been banged up? Because you don't hear anything about Dak Prescott's questionable. He's on the injured list. But all of a sudden, before the biggest game of his career, on a contract year, he got a banged up shoulder, foot, pinky, back, all this stuff. What? No, you're just trying to get an excuse for when you go blow the game for your team to put up 9 points against Philly. That's awful.
He had a bad game against Philly, and you know, I don't think that's arguable.
He's an $18 to $25 million quarterback a year. He's not anywhere above elite. He's not I don't even know if he's a top 10 quarterback. I'll give him top 16 because that's in the upper half, I guess, because there's 32 teams. But I mean, I could also argue he's in the bottom 16.
I do think this offseason he is going to get franchise tagged, but I also think the Eagles had a good game plan. You got to give them credit because they had like 2 or 3 receivers the whole game, and their offense, they played good, and their defense.
The Eagles are led by a team that one of us, not going to say who, led by Carson Wentz, who someone said should probably be dropped soon. So
I don't like Carson Wentz. I think, like I said, he still hasn't proved the.
But that kind of goes back to what I'm saying, right?
But no,
we look at every.
I'm not arguing and saying he's not talented.
Not every
Yeah, but you said that maybe they should move on from Carson Wentz.
No, they made it. I think organizationally, I think there's just a big divide there because you got a Nick Foles statue outside, and then you got Carson Wentz just trying to live up to that statue, and you're not going to. He brought the first championship to Philly. You're like, he's always going to be in the shadows to, you know who? Nick Foles, who has nothing to do, like no business being in the same conversation talent-wise as Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is very talented. The only thing is
back to Dak Prescott. I don't think the Cowboys should get rid of him. I don't think he should get top quarterback money, but I do think the Cowboys should re-sign him.
I would trade for Derek Carr.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, yeah, I'm speechless. Why?
Yeah.
Derek Carr's not.
He's no different than Dak Prescott, but he's under contract. You get to control him for a couple of years, and you move on from Dak. He's experienced. You don't really have no downfall to it. You just realize that, hey, Dak's we're not really winning with Dak. He's going to be on the market.
Derek Carr get a massive contract.
I said he's under contract for a couple of years.
Well, why not just sign Dak Prescott to a contract?
$30+ million too.
Because I just.
But you're talking about trading a guy that I think is probably worse than Dak Prescott. You're talking about trading Dak Prescott for Derek Carr.
Is he worse than Dak Prescott?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
There's not a big drop off either way.
So why would you trade at all? There's no point.
I mean, something's got to change. If you guys are telling me
that,
they need a coach.
Of
course, the coaching's going to change. That should have changed years ago. I think they're going to bring in Urban Meyer, but I think Urban Meyer's going to want to get his own guy in.
So let me ask you this: do you think Matt Ryan should be dropped?
No, I think.
Why?
I mean, if you want to rebuild, then rebuild.
Well, he hasn't won anything, right?
If you want to rebuild, then let's rebuild.
But I don't think the Cowboys are in a position to rebuild.
But no, if you're
they're on their way to the playoffs.
No, hold on. Let's get back to Matt Ryan because we're not gonna.
Well, I was just using that.
We're gonna go on Matt Ryan. If you want to rebuild, then let's rebuild. Let's dedicate to it and know that hey, we're gonna rebuild this year. We're gonna get stronger.
But you were saying to trade for Derek Carr when he's
because he's open. If Dak's gonna ask for 35, 36 million. Derek Carr's not making 35, 36 million. You want to let's Google and see how much he's making.
We'll talk about it next time.
Because I want to know because Dak Prescott's trying to get paid like one of the highest paid guys in the league.
Yeah.
Derek Carr was paid a couple of years ago. So why he was paid big money at that time, it's not as big money as it looks like right now. Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, or not Pat Mahomes, but those three all make more money than Derek Carr does. Dak Prescott's trying to be in the same conversation with these guys money-wise. So if you're needing a quarterback to just still be able to compete with and go get some pieces.
Derek Carr is getting 5 years, $125 million.
That's not a total contract. I need the yearly salary because Dak's asking for 30-something million. So, I mean, if we want to divide that, because there's not a signing bonus included in that.
I think it's dangerous to get rid of Dak Prescott.
That's $25 million a year.
I think
Dak's asking for 30-something million.
If you're a GM, which I think Jerry Jones is actually GM for his own team, but if I'm GM for the Cowboys, okay, and you have a team that, granted, they're probably going to be 8-8 if they win this weekend, but you're still talking about a team that could possibly be in the playoffs, and you're going to remove a key piece. I think that's, first of all, I think that'd be a big mistake. And if my GM did that, I'd want him fired. If you're talking about getting rid of a quarterback that's leading a team possibly to the playoffs, I just don't agree with it.
Leading his team to the playoffs with what kind of record?
I just said 8-8 possibly.
That's a 500 team. A winner for
yeah, but the pieces are there for the Cowboys, and you're talking about removing a piece.
But are the pieces really there?
I think Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback. I think Ezekiel Elliott is a very good running back.
I think it has to do with the coaching more than.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, I agree. But I'm saying it's a Dak Prescott problem too. You guys are acting like this guy's performing and giving them a chance to win every
No,
single
I'm just
game.
going to the other extreme because I feel like you're on the complete other extreme.
I'm not on the complete other extreme.
You're talking about getting rid of him.
Hey, if you can
franchise,
that's
the extreme.
I'm not paying him $30 million or $35.
I can easily just franchise tag him and wait another year.
I want to know money wise how much he's truly asked for because all the sports shows that I watch and everything, they said that he's asking for 30 upper echelon money. Derek Carr, you just told me is 5 years, $125 million. That's $25 million. That's exactly what I think Dak Prescott should make, about 25 to.
No, I think he deserves more than Derek Carr. I think he's a better player.
Well, they're about the same to me. And he's just going to be on the market probably for cheap because John Gruden wants to get his own guy. So might as well just roll the dice. If he's wanting 35 and you can get a guy for $10 million less for a second, third round draft pick.
Carr's going to be on the market.
Yeah, him and John Gruden don't get along. Talking about football, let's talk Patriots real quick just for you, because I know you're a big Patriots guy. They proved me wrong. I picked the Bills to win. I think the Bills still had the opportunity to go tie the game. They missed that pass. However, Brady showed up and they ran the ball pretty well. Brady played well. Defense wasn't bad. I mean, it was just a good team win. So Patriots proved me wrong. I like to be proved wrong. So good for them. I don't know if that clinched the division for them. Did it? Okay. So division champs once again. So congratulations, Timmy. You get to go celebrate for that one. Anything on the Patriots for you?
Man, they play good defense. Nothing really to say. They play good offense.
You got anything about the Patriots game?
I mean, it's just Patriots being the Patriots.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah, when you guys lose to the Chiefs.
You say so.
I'm going to stick with NFL for a second. Just off the top of your head, your Super Bowl predictions. You don't have to go into depth or anything. I got mine as well.
All right, so I got Patriots in New Orleans with New Orleans winning.
Okay.
First of all, if I'm just going off the top of my head, you got to say Patriots just because of who they are, who their coach is. Tom Brady, wins in the playoffs. And I think New Orleans is a very good team this year. I think this is probably going to be Drew Brees' last year.
If he wins.
Yeah, he might play another one, but I just think they're super talented.
I mean, I think it's an open ball game between three teams in each conference.
Let's hear them.
The 49ers, Seahawks, and Saints, and the
NFC.
Chiefs, Ravens, and Patriots. So it's a coin toss, I think.
You got two teams on top of your head.
I can't really make a prediction.
You guys too hard. It's an early season. You don't have to
Yeah.
stick to this one. It's just your early before the playoffs start, before you see how all the seedings
You
look.
can go with Pat's 49ers.
Okay. Just prior to all the seedings and everything, I got Saints versus Chiefs. I think Pat Mahomes going to make a little run. I think he's going to go to Foxborough win. That's just kind of what I think. Since this is our kind of final podcast until next year, I want to go and get our college football playoff predictions out there as well. I have LSU versus Oklahoma. I have LSU winning in a very close game, actually. I think it's a lot closer to like the Georgia-Oklahoma game from a couple of years ago. I think a shootout. Probably, I'm going to roll with, since I've had kind of more time to think about it, I'm going to roll with 45-38 LSU. And then Ohio State versus Clemson. I got Clemson winning in a kind of low scoring. Well, I won't say low scoring, but about 31-27 Clemson. So LSU versus Clemson final matchup.
You want to go ahead and pick it up?
Oh, I'm gonna wait for our next podcast for our national championship so we can kind of see who was right, who was wrong.
Okay.
No, I got LSU winning against Oklahoma, big, probably about 45-20.
Okay.
And I got Clemson, a close one, probably 40-31. I think both are going to be a little high scoring.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll just kind of go off of what I chose the first time. I think Oklahoma's going to upset LSU. I just think you got to pick some type of upset.
Okay.
That's my upset. I think Jalen Hurts will lead that team.
What about the defense?
Huh?
You think the defense is going to come ready to play?
I don't think
Gets
Oklahoma has a very good defense, but I also don't think LSU has a very good defense.
Nope.
So, and even you got a high-scoring game, right? I think there's a possibility Oklahoma might outscore them. I think Jalen Hurts, CeeDee Lamb, they got good weapons. Of course, LSU has a
Bold. That's bold. That's bold.
LSU does have a ridiculous offense. I think it's going to be a shootout. I just think Oklahoma's going to edge it out. I like Lincoln Riley as well. And then Ohio State, Clemson. I got to go with Ohio State. I think Chase Young is going to be a difference maker in that game. I think not only Chase Young, but, I talk about Chase Young a lot, but it's really the whole Ohio State defense. I think they're kind of lost in the mix because we talk about Chase Young so much. But the whole Ohio State defense is amazing. Clemson's defense is not where it has been previously. And I think Trevor Lawrence is kind of having a down year this year, personally. I think in the second half he stepped it up. But I'm just going to go with Ohio State over Clemson. So I
Those,
have Oklahoma versus Ohio State.
those are some good predictions. I don't know how I feel about the Ohio. I just don't see Oklahoma winning. That's a bold statement.
Look. So there's going to be an upset at the playoffs.
And I think we may have a guest caller in a minute with a couple takes as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just think there's going to be an upset somewhere. So I chose Oklahoma.
Hey, I like it. I mean, hey, that's bold.
I mean, I'm not going to just pick favorites all the time.
I haven't heard no one pick that, so I mean, I like that. I think Ohio State hasn't seen the weapons that Clemson's got yet. Quarterback play, they haven't seen like that. They haven't seen wide receivers like that yet. I think their defense is very good, though.
You think Ohio State hasn't seen the weapons that Clemson has?
Mm-hmm.
I think you can also make the same argument for Ohio State and Clemson the other way. I don't think Clemson has seen nearly the guys that.
But Clemson has seen the wide receivers from Alabama from last year.
Yeah.
But we got a guest caller just calling in. What's up, Dale? How you doing?
Good, man. How's it going?
Pretty good. So just a couple quick questions for you, kind of be a little quick. We had GOAT talks earlier on the podcast for the NBA.
Yeah, I was listening.
So who's your GOAT of the NBA?
My GOAT is, I heard y'all talking earlier, and I'm an older guy, so I saw all these guys play. To me, it's Bird. I agree with what you were saying.
Uh-huh.
And the reason I say it is because, for me, the best player that I feel like he played basketball was 5, so it's the one that affects the other 4 guys the most. That's the guy you want. And so that's the guy I would take to start my team. But going deeper into it, I would say Bird, because if you break down everything in basketball, shooting, I don't think I've ever seen anybody shoot better than Bird. They say Steph Curry today, but he didn't even win the 3-point shooting contest. He got in. Bird won every one he was ever in and told him he was going to win it before he got in them. So that was 3 of them.
Oh, it was 3 of them.
3 of them.
Oh.
And if you go to passing, if you just line him up against Michael Jordan, let's say, passing, Bird's a better passer than Jordan. Rebounding, he's a better rebounder than Jordan. Shooting, he's a better shooter, free throw shooter. Name them all. End of the game, clutch shooter. You got to take Bird over him.
Uh-huh.
Pat Riley made a comment before. He said, if I got somebody that I want to make the last second shot to win a game, I'm taking Michael Jordan,
Uh-huh.
So I got a shot to save my life, I'm taking Larry Bird. So that pretty much tells you about the clutch gene.
Uh-huh.
And then head up against Jordan, he swept him. And you can say, all right, when Bird left the Celtics, they went to the playoffs and got knocked out by the Charlotte Hornets in the first round with all those great players that they so-called had.
Uh-huh.
They had all of them and couldn't even beat the Charlotte Hornets. All right. When Michael Jordan left to go play baseball, Scottie Pippen took the Bulls to the East Finals without Jordan. Okay, so Scottie Pippen don't get the credit that he deserves for the Bulls teams. And Bird beat everyone in his era. He beat the Lakers, who's considered a great all-time team. He beat the Bad Boy Pistons, considered a great team.
Uh-huh.
But Jordan could never beat with Pippen and them. Matter of fact, that's the best team that Jordan ever beat, and it was to get to the finals, and he couldn't beat them until he lost to them 2 or 3 years in a row. And they got old. Then he finally beat the Pistons.
Uh-huh.
In the finals, Jordan was lucky. Well, he was fortunate to be in the time span he was, because when he was going to those finals, he was playing teams that weren't that good.
Yeah, like give me a couple examples.
As far as all-time finals teams that he had to beat,
Uh-huh.
he beat the Sonics with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. He beat Portland with Clyde Drexler and Kevin Duckworth.
And Bird scored 20-something left-handed on them.
On them. he beat the Lakers, but that wasn't really the Lakers. He beat Magic when he was old. Kareem was no longer on the team. They had Sam Perkins. It was just nowhere near the team they had in the early 80s that Bird had to beat.
Yeah.
It was not the same team. Then he beat the best finals team he beat, you could say, would be the Jazz, and they didn't really have anything really a whole lot outside of Malone and Stockton. And then he beat, who was the other team? He beat them twice. Phoenix with Barkley and Marley. And the best team Barkley was on was the Sixers when he joined up with Dr. J and Moses Malone when he first got drafted into the league. And that was an all-time great team that Bird had to beat, too. The Sixers, Dr. J, Moses Malone.
No, I agree.
All those guys. And then he beat them. He beat the Rockets with Olajuwon and Sampson, the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Let's see. He beat everybody in his era. There wasn't anybody that he didn't beat. And that team that beat the Bulls all them times, they beat the Pistons a bunch of times before they could finally beat the Celtics. But it's just he's not going to get that credit he deserves. He didn't have a long career, but for a 7 or 8 year stretch in the 80s, he was better than anybody that's ever played in any stretch. That's why I say he's the best. And I saw it. But Jordan's a great scorer to me, like Kobe. But as affecting 5 guys around him, he's not better than Bird or LeBron. LeBron took the Cavs to the finals, and when he was a young guy, they got swept by the Spurs. But that's an all-time great team too.
Yeah, with Duncan and Ginobili and all them.
They won a bunch of titles, and matter of fact, Jordan never beat a team that was as good as that team. You got to beat somebody like the Spurs, or if he hadn't even faced Olajuwon in the finals and beat them, I would have gave him more credit than what he did. He was fortunate of who he played, when he played, because if his teams would have been playing the Celtics or the Lakers of the 80s or the Sixers, I don't know how. Hard to say he'd even won one because they didn't have any inside presence on that team. They were more perimeter defense type team. And the Celtics and the Lakers would have killed them on the interior with the sky hooks and McHale. They just been eating them for lunch.
Quick thing.
Yeah.
So going off, I agree with you that Bird's the GOAT and Jordan's kind of more of a scorer and stuff. However, you mentioned Jordan was kind of fortunate to play in the era he did. We can kind of say the same thing for LeBron's streak to the finals, though, too, correct? I mean, him playing in the East with it down so many years, kind of after that Celtics Big Three split up, and once he got with the Heat, he didn't really face too many great teams in the East, and I think sometimes we forget about that when we talk about his streak of trips to the finals.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess the best team he would have beat to get there that year would have been the Pistons. They did beat the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. But and at some point he finally beat I think he was on the Heat before he ever beat the Celtics, but they beat the Pistons to get to the finals that year, I believe.
Yeah, with Chauncey Billups and them.
Yeah, the team that beat the Lakers. But to me, the reason I say that's so good is because of who he was playing with. He didn't have one other All-Star on that team.
I agree with you.
Boobie Gibson, Delonte West, Sharunas Ilgauskas, Varejao. He had guys that, I mean, when he left the team, I think they won 10 games. And in my opinion, he had to leave because they would never get anybody for him there. That's why he had to go somewhere to join somebody. And me personally, I think it was his plan, and he knew they would be terrible. And they'd end up getting some draft picks, and when he became a free agent again, he could go back. I think it was all a plan. And it worked out. They got Kyrie Irving, and then he was able to get Kevin Love in a trade, which that ain't no great supporting cast, but they were able to beat the Golden State.
I think you're right. I think you're right with all that stuff. Also, just a quick question for you. I know you're a Cowboys fan, correct?
That's right.
So, how do you feel after this weekend's game? Are you got any questions for us that you want us to kind of go over with you too?
I think the Cowboys, me personally as a fan, I hope they lose because I don't even want to see them in the playoffs. They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. they need to break that up. I'm tired of it. I hope Jerry Jones sells the team. I think that's the problem, to be honest with you. He wants all the credit and don't want any of the blame. I think he needs to coach the team for as long as he's alive or sell the team. And he's not going to do that because he don't want to get blamed when they're not good. But Jason Garrett stays around because he'll just take what Jerry Jones dishes out and he'll be the puppet that he wants him to be. But they need to break that whole thing up. But I don't know any coach. If I was a coach, I'd have to say I want to draft all the players. I'm making all the football decisions. You're staying out of it. You're not doing interviews. And I'll sign a contract if you agree to all that. That's the only way I'm doing it, though. But other than that, and I don't think he's going to do that, so I say he just needs to go down there and coach the team, whatever, and then I'll probably just pull for two or whatever team he goes to. There
you go. Another thing for you, real quick. Who do you got in the college football national championship?
I think it's going to be Ohio State and LSU. I think LSU's going to win pretty easy. I just don't see Oklahoma's defense slowing them down. I think they're going to score at will on them. And Oklahoma's going to score some too, but I just don't think it's going to be nearly enough. I don't think they're going to be able to stay up with them because I think LSU's defense is a little better than Oklahoma's. And then on the other side, I think that Ohio State is going to beat Clemson because I just feel like Ohio State's defense is going to, pressure the Clemson quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think he's had to play a game where he's been pressured in his career from what I can see, but I think he's going to feel that in this game. I think he's going to throw a couple picks to Ohio State. I think Ohio State's going to beat them pretty easy because I really don't feel like Clemson's been tested this year with this current team. They can say whatever they want about last year. I'm talking about this year. And I just feel like Ohio State's going to beat them. And then in that final game,
they got a nasty pass rush. I agree with you. Ohio State.
In that final game, I feel like I feel like Ohio State's got the best team. And they should win it all, but I don't feel like they will because that game will be in New Orleans.
Yeah, so like a home game.
I feel like LSU's just got a magic kind of thing going. I don't feel like they're better than Ohio State. I just feel like that they're going to figure out a way to win that game and that they'll win the championship.
Last thing for you, Dale, then. You got any questions for us real quick?
Yeah, I could come up with some. What do you think about Georgia at Alabama next year?
So Georgia travels to Tuscaloosa next year. Really, it kind of depends the quarterback situation for both schools. For me, if Tua comes back for Alabama, if Fromm comes back for Georgia, I think if Georgia's rolling out a freshman quarterback to Tuscaloosa, I think that smells trouble. I also think, you guys could also have a freshman quarterback facing a really good Georgia defense at home as well. That's a big game. I think it really comes down to who returns at the quarterback position. I think Georgia's going to return some skilled players. I think Alabama's going to have some play. I think it's going to be the new version of almost the game of the century, like how LSU and Alabama had. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think as long as Georgia comes ready to play, I think it's going to be a good one. I think Fromm's actually going to probably be back. And I hope he proves me wrong and has the chip on his shoulder and comes ready to play that game. What are you thinking about? What do you guys think about it?
Man, it's hard to tell right now.
It is tough.
We don't really know what either team looks like. Of course, we expect Alabama to be Alabama and Georgia to be good. I just don't. It's hard to pick right now.
It is.
If I just had to pick, I would probably go with Georgia just because I think there's more certainties at certain positions. I think Alabama's losing a lot, and plus they're running back. So we'll see.
What you got?
It's tough to pick right now. I know Georgia's defense is going to be good next year. They got a lot of people coming back. They are losing their safety Reed. It depends on Jake Fromm as well. I don't know if Bama's losing Moses or not, their linebacker. He's been hurt for a while.
Is he a senior?
I think he's a junior, right? Dale?
Yeah,
Dylan Moses?
He's coming. He'll be a senior if he comes back.
Okay.
So it should be a tough one.
I think it's going to be a good game to watch for sure. My prediction early is I think I'm going to take Georgia. I think we're due for winning against Alabama. I think this would be the one time I see us beating them. I don't see us beating them in another national championship or anything like that. I think this is our one time to go get some revenge on them. So we might as well go do it at their place too. So hopefully they come in with something to play for. What do you think about the game?
Well, until one of them guys beats Saban, I'll say Saban will beat him.
I'm right there with you. Last question for you then. I'll let you go.
All right.
Real quick, who is the best quarterback of all time?
To me, the best quarterback of all time that I've seen play personally is Joe Montana.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because, he won 4 Super Bowls. He was 4 out of 4 with the 49ers. And much like Bird, I never saw a clutch moment where he didn't come through and win the ball game for his team. He had a last-minute drive to win Super Bowls. He did it to the Cowboys in '81 championship game to go to the Super Bowl. Threw a last-second touchdown pass. He's just clutch money every time you need it. He's like Tom Brady. He was on that level, at least even with how Brady does the clutch. How Brady is in the clutch. And that's how Montana was, at least that good. To me, he's the best that I've ever seen in the clutch. But the reason I say that, he was 4 out of 4 in Super Bowls, but late in his career, he wasn't Brady's age because the era he played in, you could hit the quarterback. You could unload on him. There wasn't any rules that protected the quarterbacks. There wasn't any rules that protected the wide receivers. You could hit them going across the middle. You could actually rough guys up. Yeah. It's a lot different than it is now, today's era. So you have to give him a strike for that, because he had to deal with getting hit. Yeah. And, anyway, late in his career, the 49ers decided they want to go with Steve Young. Yeah. Let him go. Well, he went to the Kansas City Chiefs, which had nobody at that time. They weren't even a team other than Derek Thomas. He was a linebacker from Alabama. He was a sack linebacker. He set the NFL record for sacks in a game with, I think it's 7. But anyway, he went to that team, and they didn't even have any receivers, didn't hardly have anything. They had an agent, Marcus Allen, came over there and played running back. But he took them to the AFC Championship game against the Bills. I think it was 92 or 3. And they were one game away from going to the Super Bowl to play the Cowboys, but Buffalo beat them in the championship game. But to me, I say that's why, late in his career, he took another team that close to the Super Bowl with nobody. Okay? So if Brady did something like that, I would put him on that level. Like if he leads the Patriots this year and goes to another team and takes them deep on a playoff run and another franchise, because Brady's my second because of the clutchness. Both of them have that clutchness. But if y'all go back and watch Montana, he had great players in San Francisco, but you couldn't say that when he did it with Kansas City, so that's why we give him the nod.
Well, I appreciate you calling, Dale, and I like all your takes for sure. I agree with you. I think Montana's right there with Brady, and I put Breeze up there, but I appreciate you calling and all your hot takes, and I appreciate you listening to our podcast and watching our show live.
Yeah, I'll continue. Y'all doing a good job, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, you too.
Any final thoughts from you guys today?
Well, just with this ain't my final thoughts, but just with the Larry Bird thing.
Yeah.
I respect it. I think he's an all-time great. I still don't think he's.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just don't.
I was about to say that's the best thing about it is everyone gets to have different opinions.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to have their own true GOAT. I put Larry Bird up there. You may put MJ, LeBron, whoever you put up there.
And I think something that'd be fun to do maybe in the future, right?
Making a board of,
Or maybe having two guys that lived in that, saw both guys.
have them come in on
Have
and
them,
debate.
have
That'd be
them
awesome.
come on here, go back and forth, and I think that'd be
That'd be sweet.
I think that'd be better than
Us debating.
guys that haven't watched Larry Bird, haven't watched Michael Jordan.
I've watched highlights and I've watched
Listen,
games on YouTube.
Like I said, we can
I
all
told
watch
you,
highlights.
no, I've watched games on YouTube.
Everyone's a superstar.
I've watched games on YouTube where I was like, hey.
All right, but my final thoughts has to do with not really sports, but really just thanking you guys for allowing me to come on here for 3 podcasts. This is my last regular appearance. I think I'm scheduled to be on like 2 more.
Or however often you want to.
Yeah, and then I can, if I have time, I'll be here. But it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you inviting me on here. It's been fun. Hey, good luck in the new year.
Yeah, I appreciate
Y'all keep
that.
going after it. Keep giving your hot takes.
Always will. Tim, you got any final thoughts? I appreciate that, man. Love to have you back on.
Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yes, first of all, Merry Christmas. Thank you, Dakota. Love to have you back on whenever you got the time. You got awesome takes, great experience, and you can kind of put me in check when I have all my hot takes. Our next first of all, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and any other holidays you celebrate, whether it be Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, any of those, celebrate it well and have fun. Our next episode won't be until January 3rd. However, you may see me live on YouTube. I'm actually visiting California, so if there's any way I can get some cool sports stuff from there, you may see me post it on social media if you follow us. Following us on social media, YouTube, as you see, if you're live with us, Sports Pantomaths. If you're listening, it's on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. It's Sports Pantomaths. If you want to keep up with our posts, follow us on Facebook. We have a page, Sports Pantomaths Podcast. Instagram, it's at Sports Pantomaths. Twitter, at Sport Pantomat1. And then also, you want your hot takes or, just want to give us some feedback or anything like that, you can email us. It's at sportspantomats@gmail.com.
Yeah, and I think getting more interaction with you guys would be really great. Share this around. If you think this is worth sharing, share with your friends. Right?
Yeah.
The only way for this to really
Give
get
us a
going.
subscription. Subscribe.
Yeah, keep, kind of share with your friends. Hey, listen to these 3 dummies talk about sports.
Yeah, or hey,
And a like.
even come on here and come talk for yourself. Get your own hot takes out there, your opinion. I love to hear more people's mindsets, and I like good arguments about sports. I enjoy it. I would love to have more hot takes, and also give us some topics to talk about. Hey, it's tough to have to come up with a podcast, all the ideas, all that stuff.
Leave comments on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can leave comments on YouTube, all that good stuff. I appreciate you listening, and have a good one.
January 3rd.
There we go, Jim, right there. Good stuff, boy.